is Good Morning Uganda. Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Well, good morning and a Merry Christmas. Welcome to Good Morning Uganda. I'm Olive Monica Najuma. Today is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day because today is the 24th of December 2024 and tomorrow is Christmas. Are you ready for Christmas? Are you ready for merrymaking, for, joyful noise, joyful music, joyful moments with friends and family? Are you already in your villages? Have you traveled already up country? Well, if you're traveling up country, there are traffic advisories from Uganda Police Force and Uganda Traffic Police so that you avoid some routes. We'll be sharing details regarding that, but you need to know where to pass so that you're not stuck and so that 25th of December, which is the date we celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, doesn't find you stuck on the road. Today, we will also be delving into a conversation with Pastor Cyrus Road, understanding Christmas and also looking at how Christmas has evolved over the years. So much more to unpack, but it will be everything and anything Christmas. So stick around with us because today we give you only joyful noise, joyful conversations, because that's what we have decided is the best way for you to launch into your Christmas tomorrow. Well, I am with the two gentlemen, Chirabo Robert Nyonyintono in Studio B and Jerome Paul Sonko with me right here. But I'll first swing to Studio B and check on Chirabo Robert Nyonyintono. Has he already bought chicken? Has he already bought Christmas clothes? Because children do not understand the spirit of Christmas unless you buy them new clothes and also gifts. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you and Merry Christmas to our viewer and of course the entire team of UBC TV. Now I must be very honest, my house has doubled the number of people there. So I already have people who have come to celebrate Christmas. Okay. Yet I'm also planning in evening hours to go and celebrate with my parents. But very important to note, I just want to urge all Ugandans that are going to travel up country, one, plan your journey on time. There's too much jam and some people end up overspeeding because you want to ensure that you reach there before Christmas. Now, if you're to move, if you see that that time cannot allow you, please stay in Kampala. Don't overspeed. I know people who wake up and they decide that I'll leave around 10 p.m. By midnight, I'll be in Kakuto, which is almost next to impossible sometimes. And these roads, government is working on roads every time. The route passed through some 2 years. Some people take a year without going to the village. When you apply the same route, it changed completely. Either there was a diversion or there is some construction going on. Please, we don't want to see these stories, the entire family perished, that we always report after Christmas. A family of 3, the whole family got lost. And please also avoid overexcitement. There's something that happened yesterday, very unfortunate incident, where we saw the driver of a towness that was carrying jerrycans, driving from Chintu Road to join Seziwa Road, who was shot by a police and he lost his life. Now, it's very unfortunate, very heartbreaking that someone loses a life in what we would call funny things, hard to explain. Even if you have the right of way, which I highly doubt you do, why then would you use a gun to take someone's life, Monica? Yeah,
it makes zero sense. And it's actually, it takes away, it renders me speechless, the kind of behavior the men in uniform displayed, because it matters not whether there was an altercation of some sort. You should know better, because at the end of the day, you're the one with a gun, and you are supposed to maintain safety and security. But anyway, police will tell us more about this incident. There have been different allegations regarding the same, as to why the police officers seemed to be very much in a rush, but we will know more as the days unfold. But then for our brothers and sisters that are traveling for Christmas to different parts of the country, the traffic advisory from the Uganda Traffic Police says that to alleviate heavy traffic congestion on major routes as people upcountry travel upcountry for the festive season, Uganda Traffic Police advises eastern route Kampala to eastern Uganda. Use 120 in Mukono to Chisoga through Nyenga to connect to Jinja. Avoid using the main route due to ongoing construction if possible. The alternative routes are sustainable for light vehicles, as heavy vehicles are advised to use the main routes to minimize congestion. That is for the people that are traveling to the eastern route. But then to the people going to the side of western Uganda, traffic police advises that those coming from Kampala to western Uganda use Nakauka, Kasanje, Mpigi route to bypass traffic congestion. Alternatively, use Buloba and connect to Mpigi, so that you do not get stuck in a traffic jam as you head out for the festivities. And those going to Fort Portal, there was also congestion that side of town, and according to still some of our leaders, they said travelers to the west using Fort Portal Kampala Road and on going beyond Chiganda, you are advised to use alternative routes. The road is impassable and vehicles as of yesterday were stuck. Those traveling to and from Fort Portal, Kasese, Bundibujo and beyond, they were being advised to use either Mbara or Hoima Road. So yeah, as you traverse different routes to go for Christmas, you should also keep the traffic situation under advisement. Well, good morning, Jerome Paul.
Well, good morning, Olive, and Merry Christmas to our dear viewer who's watching us this fruitful 24th of December, which is the Christmas Eve. And this also comes at the backdrop of the President having asserted to the Coffee Amendment Bill on the 20th of December of this very month, meaning it is no longer a bill, now it is an act, or it is now law in Uganda. Those are developments coming in from the Presidential Press Unit and informing the public about the President signing the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 into law. But that also mentioned, as we're heading into the festive season, the police and the other security operatives have come out to call for vigilance and also ensuring that during this festive season, as we are celebrating, we are very mindful of the decisions we take and also move while looking closely to our neighbors or the strangers we meet on the way, because at any one moment during this festive season, a lot of things do happen behind closed doors, others happen in the entertainment spaces. So it should be very mindful of our own selves to see that during the festive season, we are celebrating, we are having fun or the leisure bit of things, but ensuring that we do not lose lives or do not lose property to thieves or burglars, so to say.
All right. And that being said, it's very important that as we drive, we also drive carefully, because according to traffic police, this period normally has the highest rate of traffic offenses, but also accidents. So let's all stay vigilant so that we not only enjoy Christmas tomorrow, but also get to enjoy 31st and 1st of 2025 and also get into the year safe and sound. Now let's have a look at our local news.
We'll begin with a statement from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, where the Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, said Uganda is negotiating with United Arab Emirates to excuse Ugandans working in Dubai whose visas have overstayed to allow them be returned home. This was during the end-of-year statement for the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development at the Media Centre in Kampala. The Ministry of Gender and Social Development reported reduction complaints from externalization of labour with a decline at 47%. Amongi explained why Uganda cannot export medical professionals because the biggest percentage of Ugandans who seek jobs in the UAE countries are not skilled. On artists being obscene, the minister cautioned artists to perform what is accepted by Uganda National Culture Centre Act and Uganda Commissions Act. Meanwhile, the ministry has issued salute for people who check abuse in response to the annual crime report showing increase of violence against women and children cases during the festive season. Over to cattle theft now, where territorial police have arrested 50 cattle thieves within the cattle corridor, which they say has escalated during the festive season. Police spokesperson Rushoke Gitumwa told the media in Kampala that the culprits used saloon cars to smuggle stolen cattle. With the public gearing towards the festive season, animal theft and robbery has remained prevalent in the areas of Ruwero, Nakasongola and Nakaseke, with Savannah Police Region retrieving 352 of the 451 stolen animals and apprehended 54 suspects in contact with the regional operations of cattle theft. Security forces have associated falsified veterinary doctors and also documents and vehicles license number plates forgery as a prevalent form of aiding animal theft. Cattle robbers have started smuggling cattle using saloon cars. The fight against the vice is hindered by unwillingness of victims to follow up on cases. Security forces intend to work coherently with abattoirs, farm owners, district veterinary officers, and the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry and Fisheries to avert cattle robbery in the country. Still moving on with the local stories, a section of Forum for Democratic Change, FDC Katonga Road faction leaders paid a courtesy call to Dr. Kiza Besigye and Obedi Lutale, who are currently remanded to Luzira prison. The leaders delivered a Christmas package of food items and other essential necessities as Uganda joins the rest of the world to celebrate this year's Christmas due tomorrow. On the 23rd of December this very year, just a day to Christmas, and a section of the Forum Democratic Change leaders arrived at the prison. Led by Kampala Lord Mayor and the leader of the FDC Katonga faction, they delivered Christmas goodies to the remanded former party leader Dr. Kiza Besigye and Obedi Lutale. The leaders said they stand in solidarity with their comrades. Dr. Kiza Besigye will spend 2024 Christmas festival and the New Year behind bars. Only had to use a pen and paper to wish the rest of his supporters and family a cheerful season. They are facing charges of unlawful possession of firearms at the General Court Martial. They are remanded until the 7th of January next year. And finally, from the local scene, Kampala Capital City Authority KCCA interim leadership, headed by Frank Rusa Nyakana, has launched an anti-corruption hotline to address rampant corruption within the authority. This initiative is part of the broader efforts to improve governance and accountability at KCCA. Addressing the media on the milestone of his first 100 days in office, the acting executive director emphasized transparency and service delivery in leadership. A hotline has been established for citizens to directly report unethical practices, strengthen governance mechanisms, and enhance improved service delivery. The executive director said, in tackling corruption, this signalizes a city free of corruption if the citizens are willing to work to eliminate corruption. That also include efforts of eliminating potholes and the ongoing construction of roads as key infrastructure projects worked upon. He announced plans to renovate the KCCA city mortuary within a short time. Frank Rusa Nyakana assumed office as an interim executive director following Kitezi tragedy, which led to the dismissal of 3 senior KCC officials, including the KCC executive director, following an investigation by the Inspector General of Government.
Well, now we move on to Russia, where Russian scientists have unveiled the remains of a 50,000-year-old baby mammoth found in thawing permafrost in the remote Yakutia region of Siberia during the summer. They say Yana, who has been named after the river basin where she was discovered, is the world's best preserved mammoth carcass. Weighing in at over 100 kilograms and measuring 120 centimeters, which is about 4 feet tall and 200 centimeters long, Yana is estimated to have been only about 1 year old when she died. Before this, there were only 6 similar discoveries in the world, 5 in Russia and 1 in Canada. Yana was found in the Batagaika crater, the world's largest permafrost, which means ground that is permanently frozen, crater by people living nearby. The residents were in the right place at the right time, the head of the Lazarev Mammoth Museum Laboratory said. They saw that the mammoth had almost completely thawed out and decided to build a makeshift stretcher to lift the mammoth to the surface, said Maxim Chapatsov. Now moving on to the United States, former United States President Bill Clinton has been hospitalized after developing a fever, this according to his office. Clinton, age 78, was admitted to MedStar Georgetown University Hospital in Washington, D.C. for testing and observation on Monday afternoon, Angel Urena, Clinton's deputy chief of staff, said in a statement. He remains in good spirits and deeply appreciates the excellent care he is receiving, Urena said in a post on X. Urena did not elaborate on Clinton's condition, but NBC News quoted an anonymous source close to the former president saying the situation was not urgent. Clinton, who served as the 42nd U.S. president from 1993 to 2001 under the Democratic Party banner, has faced a series of health issues over the years. The former president was hospitalized for 5 nights in 2021 after developing sepsis from a urological infection and underwent heart surgeries in 2004 and 2010. Now moving back to East Africa, at least 38 people have died and more than 100 others remain missing after a ferry carrying passengers traveling for Christmas capsized on a river in the northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo, according to officials and witnesses. 20 people have been rescued so far after the ferry sank late Friday in the Busira River. It was traveling as part of a convoy of other vessels and the passengers were primarily merchants returning home for Christmas, said Joseph Kangoli, the mayor of Ingende, the last town on the river before the site of the accident. According to Ingende resident Ndolo Kadi, the ferry carried more than 400 people because it made 2 ports, Ingende and Lolo, on the way to Bowende, so there is reason to believe there were more deaths, the Associated Press agency reported. Central government authorities have yet to comment on the incident and offer further details about rescue operations. Al Jazeera could not independently verify the casualty figures reported by Associated Press. Well, that's sad news coming in from DRC, and we hope that those that have been saved survive, and of course, may those that perished rest in eternal peace. But now we move on to the press review with Joram Paul Sonko.
Well, with the new vision, police is calling for vigilance ahead of the festive season. Joint forces have met and the army deployed to reinforce the police during this time. Then heroes who help the needy. More of that report is in today's new vision. As win millions in the jumbo puzzles and quiz. That is by getting the new vision with the special Christmas pullout. And then look at the readers win X months tricycles and motorcycles, a pictorial of some of those winners. And court 20 years of waiting for justice in vain. There is a report on that. As in matters tourism, Uganda celebrates Silverback Christmas in Guangzhou. Then the Daily Nation, rather the Daily Monitor, writes Kampala's most dangerous area. There is a rising concern despite extensive security infrastructure in Kampala. The central business district, high crime rates persist, with criminals exploiting congestion and inadequate police patrols to target motorists, pedestrians and businesses, especially during early mornings and evenings. Now also the last-minute dash for buses and taxis get into the rush hour of many of those that are traveling for the festive season. Then in the Prosper magazine, how to avoid deaths in the festive season. And then also the Rainbow magazine, your letters, birthday messages, success stories, puzzles and more. And in the other news, government stakes transport hopes on trains as bills that define 2024 have also been mentioned in today's Daily Monitor. Now the Daily Nation from Kenya writes, highway chaos. Transport, a 6-vehicle crash killed 7 people on the busy Nairobi-Narok highway. Read about that from the Kenyan perspective as governors fighting one-term curse. You can see the pictorial. There is a Johnson Sakaja of Nairobi, Chimani Wamatangi of Kiambu. Then there is Susan Kihika from Nakuru, Moses Badilisha of Nyandarua, then Abid Guyo of Isioko, as well as Andrew Wandime of Taita Tavota. And also you can see the front page is Kawira Mwangaza from Meru. All of these are fighting the one-term curse to see that they will be back in office during the 2027 polls. Now, the politics, Azimio totters after Ruto signed Raila and Uhuru. Then in matters energy, court declines to halt 500 billion Kenyan shillings new project. As state workers unremitted pay as you earn pension is up by 6 billion Kenyan shillings, according to new findings. Then where are our sons? 2 families are in anguish over abducted kin. And then the healthy nation, a sleepless nation, a report that is detailing how so many Kenyans have issues with having enough rest. Now, pandemic researcher who predicted COVID waves bears it all in the new book. That is in the Daily Nation. Then lastly, from the press review, the Citizen, government acts over wave of power outages as how bus operators are responding to the SGR pact. End abductions, corruption now, say clergymen. And in the national news, how to stay safe and healthy during this festive season as stakeholders welcome new transport regulations. And of course, the bus operators are responding to this SGR impact. More of that is with the Citizen this morning.
Well, let's now take a short break, and we'll leave you with this inspiration song of the day on this Christmas Eve. We'll be right back. Speaking Matters Christmas with Pastor Cyrus Broad.
Uganda.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda, your go-to morning show to kickstart your day with all the latest updates.
Let's dive deep into issues that matter most to you.
In a world of stories waiting to be told, the headlines are your guide. Navigate the currents of news and knowledge with our daily updates of newspapers. Stay informed, stay empowered.
From the roar of the crowd to the thunder of victory, witness the drama unfold with our sports updates. Whether on the field or in the stands, join us as we celebrate the spirit of champions.
Rise with Good Morning Uganda, weekdays from 6:30 a.m. In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda, your go-to morning show to kickstart your day with all the latest updates.
Let's dive deep into issues that matter most to you.
In a world of stories waiting to be told, the headlines are your guide. Navigate the currents of news and knowledge with our daily updates of newspapers. Stay informed, stay empowered.
From the roar of the crowd to the thunder of victory, witness the drama unfold with our sports updates. Whether on the field or in the stands, join us as we celebrate the spirit of champions.
Rise with Good Morning Uganda, weekdays from 6:30 a.m.
It's time for our news brill. I'm Olive Monica Najima. Good morning once again, and if you're just joining us, welcome to Good Morning Uganda on this Christmas Eve. I am with Chirabo Robert Nyonyintono, who is joining us from Studio B, and Jerome Paul Sonko, who is right here with me in Studio A. Now, as we launch into Christmas, it's important for us to remain vigilant because as well as the celebrations, there is also a heightened rate of crime in different parts of the country. As a matter of fact, as of yesterday, during the police reported that during the past week, police across the country conducted several operations resulting in the arrest of 166 suspects. According to police, on Monday, December 16, 2024, Mukono Police Division executed an operation in Nabuti Cell, Namave Industrial Area, apprehending 8 individuals. And according to the Chira Division commanders, they carried out a similar operation in Chireka and Charlie Wajala, leading to the arrest of 41 suspects, while in Lira West Police Division, they arrested 17 suspects during their operation. Now, on Tuesday, 17th December 2024, police in Tororo conducted operations that resulted in the arrest of 18 suspects. Another operation in Marachi, Sofia Arubaine and Magugu Busia municipality led to the arrest of 20 individuals. Additionally, an operation in Namgongo, Wakiso district resulted in the apprehension of over 7 suspects. Now, further operations took place in Chiko, Kakuba and Chigala in Kachira, where police arrested 17 suspects. And on Thursday, December 19th, 2020, which is last week, 19 suspects were apprehended in Chibe Zone, Kalere, Kawempe division of Kampala City, and a similar operation on the same day in Sembable districts, Lusuguru Town Council and Chikazi Zone also resulted in 19 arrests. This is a roundup of the arrests that have occurred in 1 week. What does this show you? It does show that as we prepare for the festivities, as we leave our homes to maybe travel up country or different parts of Kampala metropolitan for the festivities, thieves and other people that get themselves involved in different types of crime are also on the lookout, and they are waiting for unsuspecting people so that they can lash out. So we are delving into that conversation. How best can we ensure that we are vigilant and safe and our property is safe when it comes to this festive season, where some people are going to leave their homestays closed for a couple of days, and this could be actually a minefield for thieves. So how best can we safeguard those we love and ourselves and also our property? Jerome Paul, good morning once again.
Good morning to you, Olive, and to our viewer.
Yes. Now, people like you, single, living alone, in the event that a person of your nature is to travel out of town, most likely your house is going to be left just attended to by a log, right?
Yes.
How best can many people, even those that have families, because many people are traveling up country, leaving their homes unattended to, and hoping against all hope that the locks they have will keep their property safe. So how can they stay vigilant to ensure that they're not crying once the holidays are done?
Well, we have environments, or let's say we live in or reside in areas that are prone to robbery or theft. And many of these areas are in the Kampala suburbs, or not even Kampala. Most of these suburbs within Uganda are areas that attract many robbers or thieves, especially during the festive season. And like you've mentioned, many times during the festive season, for individuals like myself, the only part of the security you are left with, or that you have with you when you're traveling, is either the padlock or the locks that you have on your door, and maybe your neighbors. And during this time, the neighbors that we are having are also in the mood for festival, for the festivities. Either they have traveled to with the loved ones, and those that have remained may only be focused on what they have. So I'm only thinking that during this time of travel, we need to put more safety measures for ourselves before you even travel. Because if you know you're going to be away for a week, put it in mind that at any one moment, anything can happen during your absence. So meaning you have to, if you've been using, I'm just going to think locally, if you've been using, let's say, one single lock, you've got to look for measures of, covering up every bit of the house. And then some people, what most people do, if they are traveling up country or heading back to their ancestral homes or to the villages, they normally carry every essential kind of product they have. Or let's say, if at all they have essential documents, work documents, school documents,
really?
Some tend to carry them
That's
back
new.
to the villages.
That's
Why?
new.
Because they do not want to risk it at any one moment. They are scared of their neighborhood, and it's not the way we are supposed to be living, because you only hope that when you travel away, the police, or let's say other security forces that are going to be deployed, or that are normally deployed during this time, are supposed to be safeguarding your property. Or maybe even your neighbors are supposed to be looking out for you.
But the neighbors also have families to join.
And then
or
sadly, some
travels
neighbors are responsible for even stealing. You may have a neighbor, simply because we're in a generation where at times you don't even have time to ask what your neighbor does for a living.
That's right.
And when you leave, your neighbor may be the same person who's going to rob you, or the same person who's going to connect those that are going to rob you and make it even easier, or as a backup, or provide a shield.
Who tells their people,
Yes,
this neighbor has a home theater?
Yes, I've seen all this happening.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time, one of the tenants to my mother's houses happened to leave during a time she had gone for burial. So when because her houses are within the vicinity of where she stays, so they knew she had left for burial. And because she had told them she'll be back on Monday, she decided to return on Sunday, only to be shocked that they were packing things to leave. And these were tenants who were being demanded 3 months in there.
Okay.
So when such things happen, I'm only putting it in the context of the festive season, where you've just left and you think your neighbor is going to look out for you, only for you to return and nothing happened to them.
Okay,
and
so
in the
now
entire neighborhood, it's only you.
So with the example you've shared, there is the tenants themselves being at risk, but also there is the landlords being ripped off after people have stayed in the house for a given period of time
without paying, and you're the landlord, you decide to go and celebrate your Christmas or New Year's Day away from home.
You go to Kabale for
only
2
to
weeks.
return, especially those who have their tenants within the same, the same fence or neighborhood. You only to return when the tenants have already run out.
So in that case, Joram, what would be your best advice to landlords? How best can they be on top of this?
For the landlord issues, it's well, at times landlords do know how their tenants operate, and I've been seeing advice on social media where many party dwellers are advising each other that if you know you're going to enjoy the festive season, it's better or wise of you to pay your January rent this month, so that you do not reach into next month when you do not have enough money to pay, only waiting for what the salary looks like at the end of the payday. So that one, and I've also seen most of the landlords during this festive season, they tend to ask for money because they know at any one moment things change. You may wake up in the morning when your tenant is nowhere to be seen. And the festive season is a funny one because the way Ugandans celebrate it, at times it's like it's the end of the world. There are people who save a lot of money only for it to be spent in just 1 week of the festive
there are people who save money specifically for the festive season.
And then there are
I
people
think
who
those
also
are okay. I think the people that have a problem are those who don't save, eat into the savings that are supposed to do other things like rent and fees.
So everyone has their own ways of saving anyway and how they prioritize. But when it comes to the security, I think we have to first of all look out for ourselves because over the time, and I'm not throwing shade onto the Uganda police force, but over the time, it has been very evident that the security starts with you. Because at any one moment, even when you go and report a case, it is going to take you a long time for you to get this kind of justice because you need more of the evidence that this and this has happened to you. So it's a long process, meaning we're supposed to stay very vigilant from the word go. We need to be very mindful of the strangers within our neighborhoods, how we carry ourselves during this festive season, because there is no reason as to why, if I told you an alcoholic, for example, you're not supposed to drink yourself dead drunk to the point that you don't even know the route back to your home.
But Jerome, are you referring to people that have an alcohol problem, the alcoholics, or just people who enjoy their drink?
No, it is a general one, because in the festive season, you can't even tell if this kind of person is someone who's addicted, because there are people who will just drink out of excitement. And at the end of the day, they won't mind about what tomorrow presents. All you know is you'll find him on the road lying, and you wonder, does this person know that they were supposed to head back home?
All right. And for the ladies, of course, predators are also on the lookout. So you need to be extremely very vigilant when you're out, the drinks you're drinking, who is buying you the drink. Because, yes, we have date rape drugs where your drink can be laced with something and you wake up not knowing what happened or how you got home or with whom or where exactly you are. So it's important. You do not want to risk your life because a lot could happen. You could be infected with HIV, end up with an unwanted pregnancy just because you are too excited, you drank yourself silly, and you find yourself in a very precarious position. So we all need to really be on alert. But going away from the city, there have been other types of crime being reported by the Uganda Police Force, and in the cattle corridor, the Uganda Police Force says that cattle theft has also increased in the cattle corridor, especially during this festive season. Now, according to Territorial Police, they have arrested 50 cattle thieves within the cattle corridor, which they say has escalated during the festive season. Now, according to police spokesperson Rusoke Chituma, he said in Kampala, he said that culprits use saloon cars to smuggle stolen cattle from different regions to other regions. And he said now with the public jeering towards the festive season, animal theft and robbery has remained prevalent in the areas of Luwero, Nakaseke, Nakasongola, and the Savannah Police Region has retrieved 352 of the 451 stolen animals and apprehended 54 suspects in conducted regional operations on cattle theft. That's where I bring in Robert Chirabo. Robert, when we have been looking at the different types of crime within the city dwellings, but now we also have this in the cattle corridor. How do people, cattle keepers and keepers of different types of animals, really, how can they maintain safety of their animals, but also others, their produce?
Well, thank you so much, Olive. But before I go to that, I just enjoyed your last advice to the ladies at such a time. Now, also, I'll tell them, reduce on your appetite for free things. Because I've seen many posting, my Christmas is here. Yet you're posting someone who has been staying abroad, returning. Usually I call them Abasama. Now, there is a new trend of crime some Basamas are doing, and this I want to alert the young girls out there who get excited when they see either foreigners and this Basama arriving. This person lands in the country and says they need a SIM card. You get it? Now, they will tell you how they don't have a national ID, and as the new catch, who is in fresh love, they want you to go and register a SIM card in your name. If you're Olive Najuma, now this Hank, this Musama, it is a new relationship, very hot, will tell you, Olive, register for me a SIM card that I'm going to be using when I'm in Uganda. When I'm leaving, I'll give it back to you. Now, they use this SIM card to commit all forms of crime. Now, when police comes to arrest, some have been conned of 20, others 50, plus many millions. They will track and get Najuma Olive. This man is here for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. He's already flown out of the country. You can't trace him. They're using this on so many young girls. Yesterday I was at Kabalagala police station. I found about 5 cases. They include some Ugandans, some Russians, and all foreigners. Be very careful, young girls. These men who pretend to be loving you, shower you with goodies, they want that SIM card. So if anyone talks about registering a SIM card for them to use, please do not.
Also, Chirabo, I think this should actually go beyond Basama and foreigners. Even people locally, if someone says, I lost my national ID, but I need a SIM card, well, I think the same advice should apply.
Yes, but maybe for the local ones, you know you can trace that person.
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you think you can trace someone.
Who are leaving Uganda very soon.
Yes, Robert, but it's also important to know that the SIM card should be used by the person in whose name it is registered.
Definitely.
So basically, we should stop registering SIM cards for other people overall. But yes, going back to the cattle corridor.
Now, first, why has this escalated more so during this season? Because there is high demand for meat at this particular time. All abattoirs are full to capacity. People eat. You know, Christmas is all about merrymaking. And you can't merry-make without eating. And you usually eat beyond the usual. A family that has been eating 1 kilo of meat, during Christmas, they may go for 10 kgs of meat. They may go for so many of pork. They may go for so many of goat's meat. So there is high demand for meat this particular time. Everywhere they are slaughtering. Vumbe, Masavu, everywhere they are slaughtering. So there is high demand for animals at this time. Now, why has this been prevalent? Because even people in the villages, many of them also at such a time, are also merrymaking. The man who used to be mindful of their cows, his brothers of the Ratoros have returned to the village. Now he's going with his brothers, taking them out. They are drinking till morning. Sometimes they come back when they are dead asleep and they cannot even feel anyone trying to mess around with their animals. And yet remember, criminals take advantage of a slight weakness in your security. 2, impersonation. Now, police has noticed that there are very many people impersonating as veterinary officers, because Olive, remember, for you to transport cow, sheep, or goat, you need a letter from the veterinary officer, even if you're going to slaughter them. You need a letter from LC, Local Council 1. Then you need the sales agreement of that particular person. Now what is happening? They forge an LC1 letter, and what is very key, that they will be looking, I don't know if you've met these animal checkpoints on some roads. There's where there's a particular checkpoint for animals. If you're carrying any animal, they'll have to follow you. They stop, they ask for these documents. Now, because many of these have been passing these animal checkpoints, reason being, they'll look at the LC letter, it's there, the sales agreement is there, the veterinary doctor, also a forged letter is there. Now, they'll think these are genuine animals that have been genuinely purchased, yet they give them clearance to go all the way to any abattoir, and they end up being slaughtered. Forgery has been one. Then lastly, because of the festive season, people are very excited. People end up spending nights somewhere and abandoning their animals. But also, there's been also another challenge in a way that lack of proper coordination in terms of security. Because we see quite a number of cows that have been recovered. But if you ask police how they have managed, it has included the public vigilance, the security personnel, and the local authority. One time I was speaking to someone from the cattle corridor, and he said, for us, when a lion comes to your home, or a leopard, and you have a crowd of a number of cows, if we are aware that it has eaten one cow, all of us gather and hunt for that leopard until we have killed it. Because we know, after finishing your animals, it is coming to my animals. Now, that togetherness, that spirit, where people would say they have stolen cows from Olive, let's come together and work together to see that we either join the hunt for these thieves. Today there has been so much of, it is all about me, that I don't care attitude. Someone will say, for me, maybe I'll hire people with a bow and arrow. If I can safeguard my animals, that is okay. If they stole so-and-so's animals, that is okay. That's why police has noticed that even people don't want to come and testify against these thieves. If someone notices that their cows have been recovered, even if they want them to come and, did you see the people? How was it? They simply don't turn up. Now, prosecution of these people becomes very, very hard. That's what Rushoke was emphasizing. Please work with us. The very people we get today, we don't have evidence, we let them go. The next time they're the very people committing this offense. There's a rotation of these people because of that I don't care attitude, which we are getting as Ugandans every day. Someone believes if for me I'm safe, I don't care about the rest. But this is a leopard that is eating cows from a neighbor's crowd. Definitely, there's that if they are finished, these thieves will find all means to come and pick your cows. So that is also another gap making this happen. But by and large, the high demand for beef at such a time, and also the abattoirs have had a challenge. You know, I know KCCA licenses a number of abattoirs, but I must say some of them have weaknesses as far as ensuring are these animals coming in, have they been bought through the right channels. When you go to meat packers, they have clear identification, and they will ensure that the person who brings in animals, they have all the labeling. When you go to some, go to Kalere, they are also a bit okay. Go to Masanafu, go to Kajansi. We're having these mini abattoirs, not very huge. Now for these, some of them, people just bring in animals. And once
they just receive.
Yes, there isn't specifics. That's why police has urged people, owners of abattoirs or management of abattoirs, because these animals are not stolen for someone to take for breeding purposes. They are stolen to be slaughtered. They're not being sold for someone to keep them, to rear them. No, they steal them to be slaughtered. Now, someone will tell you, my cows were stolen from here and slaughtered around Garden City. Just to give an example in terms of distance. Or some, the animals are slaughtered even just within someone's garden, opposite the crowd. How does this meat end up in these abattoirs?
So basically, everyone is trying to make a profit, a killing
because if it is an
around
abattoir, animals
this festive season.
Must be slaughtered within the abattoir, not so.
True.
But if an abattoir is bringing in fresh meat, that a person has stolen someone's cows, someone's goats, they have slaughtered them, and an abattoir is bringing in. I have witnessed in some abattoirs, because I usually go there to buy food for my dogs. Now you see a car coming with the fresh meat that has been slaughtered from somewhere else, being brought in the abattoir and sold in the abattoir. Now when these people who come and take a few kilos for their butchers, they will take this meat. So this theft is also thriving because of abattoirs selling meat that has not been slaughtered. The cows have not been slaughtered within the abattoirs. And I think this is where police should now come up very serious. Because, yes, because abattoirs are the collecting center.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we have some comments coming through, and Leah says, "Merry and prosperous Christmas and productive New Year, UBC." Thank you so much, Leah, for always being a part of Good Morning Uganda and many other shows here on UBC. And the next comment says, "Good morning, Olive, Joram, and Robert. I think people get much excitement for this season after preparing for it earlier, so at times this excitement drives them crazy and they end up in big trouble and losses. This is the season where everything is at stake, including the economy, security, and the entire nation. So it's in this time where everyone must scratch their heads more and shine their eyes to see this season and end well and reach the new year very healthy. No losses and no regrets at all. I wish you, Olive, Joram, Robert, and Ruben, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year." This message is coming in from Cricket Derek Gagamel from Makinde, Luafu. Thank you so much, Derek, for our Christmas greetings. And we also wish you a very Merry Christmas. And thank you so much for always being an ardent fan of Good Morning Uganda. Now, gentlemen, as we come to the end of our conversation, Joram, what is your special Christmas message to our viewer out there and also to close friends and family?
Well, I'll start with the viewers, for those that have been with us since the start of the year. When we started with the number of broadcasts that we've done this very year, I think we've done close to over 250.
Are you serious?
Because if this year has been having if this is a leap year of 366 days, and we're only off during Mondays and Fridays, I think we've actually done 300.
Yes.
Over 300 live broadcasts here every morning. So to all of you that have been waking up with us and ensuring that you share your opinion and the views, you keep us moving. So I wish you a Merry Christmas, a peaceful one, a joyous one, and of course a prosperous 2025, which will come with good health and financial breakthroughs. And to my friends, for putting me, for always lifting my mental health and for always supporting me, a Merry Christmas to all of you and to the entire team here of Good Morning Uganda. A Merry Christmas to everyone behind the cameras, the team I work with on set, and everyone in the technical department, the producers, who ensure that we have the content that keeps us moving, and also as we keep updating the Ugandan who wakes up in the morning to watch us. And there's also a gentleman who watches us from Zambia. I think it's also right for us to wish him a Merry Christmas, because watching us while streaming from a different country on a daily is not an easy thing.
Yes.
Meaning we are doing and adding value to someone who is also not in the country. So it's a Merry Christmas to you, sir.
All right. Well, that is Joram's special Christmas message. Trouble. What is the message for our viewers, but also your family and friends?
First, I want to thank all our viewers. You really mean a lot to us. Waking up every day and knowing you're there. A special message to all those that have always made sure they give us feedback. Cricket Derek, we can't thank you enough. And of course, my colleague has mentioned those that are watching us outside of Uganda. We really don't take that for granted, and may the good Lord give you the best of your Christmas, a peaceful one, full of joy. And of course, to my workmates, because we work as a team. No one can work independently. Waking up very, very early, by 5:30 you're here, and we start preparing for this show. I just want to thank you guys. You've made us be able to fulfill our promise to Ugandans. The entire team, the technical team, the guys on camera, the presenters, Sonko, Ruben, Olive, and of course the entire management of UBC and our ministry, that's the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. Thank you so much for supporting us to enable us come live. The number of shows Joram Paul Sonko has mentioned, it's not a walk in the park. It has been efforts and collective effort. Now to my family, my dear wife and my children, thank you so much for always supporting me to be here on time, and the entire family. I love you so much, and I just want to wish you the very best of your Christmas, full of joy, and also focusing on the reason for Christmas. And finally, to all Ugandans, let's remember we are celebrating a birthday of a special person, the Son of the Living God. So whatever your celebrations are, celebrate, enjoy, but not forgetting the meaning, because Christ never came for us to eat and drink. He was sent to save us. We are celebrating the birth of our Savior. So don't indulge in ungodly acts.
Oh, Chirabo.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Well, to our dear viewers, thank you so much for being a part of this journey that we traverse every single day from Monday to Friday. You are the reason why we wake up every morning to come here. And because we know and we are certain that someone tunes in to watch us every single morning, we are encouraged to do this over and over again. You have supported us, you have given us feedback. Cricket Derek Gagamel from Makindi Luafu, there is Ankronunji Alexander, there is Leah, there is a pastor, I forget his name. We have viewers that watch us live from Malawi, from South Africa, and even which country did you say? From Zambia. We thank you so much. You are the reason we are doing this, and you are the reason why UBC stands out as the station that inspires, educates, but also entertains you every single day. So we don't take your support for granted. Now to my workmates, this job we do is a collective effort. So for the gentlemen I work with on set, we work together very well. We support each other, and I thank you so much for all the support all through the year. I wish you a joyful Christmas. May you relax because it's very important, but also I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful time with your friends and family. The team that works behind the scenes, the team from engineering, Famba, you're the reason people can hear us every single day. Without you, we cannot be heard. There is Fiona, there is Auntie Christine. There are so many people behind the scenes, people behind the cameras, like Brother, like Godwin, and people in the other control room, Julius, Shafiq, everyone, the producers, Dave Saino, Ruben. I can't mention everyone, but we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy this time of the year. Indulge a bit. Don't be like Chirabo who says don't indulge, but indulge responsibly. And to my family, my beautiful children, I love you so much, and I wish you the very best Christmas. To my special children, you are the reason why I smile every day, and Christmas reminds me what it means to have a family. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all those that watch us. We are still ongoing, by the way. The show continues, because when we come back at 8, we will be speaking to Pastor Cyrus Road, speaking matters Christmas, but still we have Good Morning Uganda Business coming up next.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Maskari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda, your go-to morning show to kickstart your day with all the latest updates.
Let's dive deep into issues that matter most to you.
In a world of stories waiting to be told, the headlines are your guide. Navigate the currents of news and knowledge with our daily updates of newspapers. Stay informed, stay empowered.
From the roar of the crowd to the thunder of victory, witness the drama unfold with our sports updates. Whether on the field or in the stands, join us as we celebrate the spirit of champions.
Rise with Good Morning Uganda, weekdays from 6:30 a.m.
City market lies in 4 acres of land with a population of about 4,000 registered market vendors who are doing business in this facility. We really appreciate the initiative of the government to come up with this project that is benefiting not only the business community within the market, but the entire community within the Chuli sub-region. When you look at the market previously, the market used to be not like this one. With the market vendors, they used to sell under papyrus reeds. And we used also to ferry our goods, come and sell, then you take it in the stores or elsewhere. But now, due to this infrastructural development, the vendors now, they are able now to sell, cover your goods, leave it there, and you come and get it the next day when it is safe. The safety of our goods and the convenience of doing business has improved greatly. That makes the local community very, very, very happy when they are doing business in the market now. I want to appeal to my fellow vendors and the community of the entire Chuli sub-region that we need to embrace and support the government so that they continue also bringing us more development in our region.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
All right, as we're heading into business this very morning, there's a special birthday message going to a choir secretary in Maria Assumpta Naluoza of the youth choir Masaja Parish. They are celebrating you and they are really grateful for your service. This is a message coming in from Cricket Derek Gagabel. So they are celebrating their choir secretary Maria Assumpta Naluoza. So wherever you are highly appreciated for the services you render to the choir in the ministry and of course in the spirit or in the realm of serving the church and God in general. Well, that mentioned, we now turn our focus on to what is making headlines from the world of business. We start off with the manufacturing progress in the country, as the Minister of State for Trade and Industry, David Bahati, has said that 12 new factories were commissioned this year, with 15 more slated for commissioning in the first quarter of 2025. Now, looking into this, he was briefing the media about Uganda's industrial sector at the Uganda Media Center. Uganda's industrial sector recorded significant growth in the 2023-2024 financial year, contributing 27.4% to the GDP and 35% to the country's economy. The Minister of State for Trade and Industry, David Bahati, revealed to the media that the ministry and other partners have contributed to the GDP, which is standing at 27.4%, and the sector has generated 35%, that is the manufacturing sector, to the country's revenue, underscoring its vital role in Uganda's economic growth. The ministry's import substitution and export promotion strategy has yielded tangible results, where previously imported products such as iron and salt are locally manufactured. So far, 12 new factories have been commissioned, with 15 more due for commissioning in the first quarter of the next calendar year, as Ugandans are also taking advantage of opportunities in small and medium scale enterprises. Now, on labor concerns, Bahati highlighted government's efforts to address issues raised by workers, and especially those that work in factories. Now, away from that, Postbank Uganda hosted a coffee value addition training session to equip small and medium-sized enterprises with the skills to enhance productivity and foster entrepreneurship. The training at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute in Kampala was part of the bank's Agri-SME Skills Development Program to support small and medium-sized enterprises in the agricultural sector. Now, the participants were taken through practical sessions on processing, packaging and marketing coffee products and quality standards in accessing both local and international markets. This initiative also provides a platform to inspire stories of Ugandan entrepreneurs, value addition and innovation in agriculture. Postbank thus continued to champion economic growth and sustainability in Uganda's agricultural industry. And now, away from that, we turn our focus onto the international scene because the Japanese car giants in Honda and Nissan have announced plans to merge. This would make them the third largest car maker by sales, behind Toyota Motor Corporation and Volkswagen AG. Now, the two companies said that they had signed a memorandum of understanding, which would also include the smaller Nissan Alliance member, Mitsubishi Motors, in the talks on integration. Now, the Japanese car makers have struggled to match their big rivals in electric vehicles, or EVs, and are trying to cut costs. If the merger is finalized, it could result in a company worth more than $50 billion, approximately £39.77 billion, based on the market capitalization of all three car makers, that is Nissan, Honda and Mitsubishi. Now, Honda would initially lead the new management, which would retain the principles and brands of each company. Honda's president Toshihide revealed. Now, the aim is for the deal to be completed by August 2026, and that said, there was also a chance it would not go forward. And Honda's Mibe said there are points that need to be studied and discussed about the merger. Frankly speaking, the possibility of this not being implemented is not zero. So, despite the prospective deal making, the new company in the industry, it will still lag behind Toyota as the leading Japanese automaker. Now, Toyota rolled out 11.5 million vehicles in 2023, with Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi Motors combining for around 8 million. Now, it comes after three companies announced in August that they would share components for electric vehicles, like batteries and jointly research software for autonomous driving. Now, Nissan has struggled under the weight of a scandal that began with the arrest of its former chairman, Carlos Ghosn, in the late 2018 on charges of fraud and misuse of company assets. Now, allegations that he strongly denies. He eventually was released on bail and fled to Lebanon. He said that the planned merger was a desperate move. Now, meanwhile, in Europe, car companies have been cutting jobs and shutting factories as they face pressure from growing exports from China. Now, also details coming in reveals that the economics and data editor Ed Conway reported this early in December that many companies in Europe are struggling. Many car companies in Europe are struggling with sales. Now, lastly, we turn our focus on the forex market to see how business closed on the exchange yesterday, courtesy of the central bank. All right, now the US dollar ended 3,635.14 while selling with 3,645.14 shillings. By midday, the US dollar was buying at 3,632.27 while selling at 3,642.27. Closing time saw the US dollar buy at 3,632.95 with 3,642.95 shillings. The Great Britain pound was buying at 4,602 while selling at 4,628.3. Buying at 3,817.50 while selling at 3,828.01. The Great Britain pound was buying at 4,616.02 while selling at 4,628.73. When we got to the Kenyan shilling, it was buying at 28.10 while selling at 28.18, and the Tanzanian shilling was buying at 1.54 shillings while selling at 1.54 shillings. Closing time saw the South African rand buy at 201.01 shillings, buying at 201.56 shillings against the Ugandan shilling. And chances are high that's how you will find these currencies faring this morning. And please do note that these exchange rates are updated 3 times daily, courtesy of the regulator, the central bank. Well, that does it for business on this edition of the Christmas Eve of Good Morning Uganda. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. Good Morning Uganda continues.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know. You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Maskari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda, your go-to morning show to kickstart your day with all the latest updates.
Let's dive deep into issues that matter most to you.
In a world of stories waiting to be told, the headlines are your guide. Navigate the currents of news and knowledge with our daily updates of newspapers. Stay informed, stay empowered.
From the roar of the crowd to the thunder of victory, witness the drama unfold with our sports updates. Whether on the field,
Check the shopping man. What's your secret?
Uganda wange.